Right, welcome back. We've got the semi-final coming up, and it's between Lee Walker and Andy Lucas. And at the moment, I've got Lee with me.
Yeah.
Hi, Lee.
All right, yeah, fine.
It's the first time we've met proper.
It is.
And we don't know a lot about such a pool background, so I'm just going to go through, we're going to have a little bit of a chat about it. Hopefully the people that's going to watch straight after this, they're going to watch you and Andy go to battle. And we've got a great commentator in Keith who's going to commentate for you, which is a real special thing, I think, when Keith does it. So Lee, what area are you from?
From Staffordshire.
Staffordshire?
Stone in Staffordshire.
Yeah.
Play most of my pool in Stoke. Play for Staffordshire Seniors.
Right.
I'm currently the Staffordshire Senior Champion.
Ooh. No wonder, because you got to the semi-final here.
And we're national champions as well, the team.
Did we play?
Did we
play at Yarmouth?
We could have done. Where do you play for?
GMC.
Yeah. Well, you beat us by the odd frame. No, we beat you by the odd frame.
That's what it went
guy
down to, didn't it?
Black.
That was it. Yeah.
1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, 1 o'clock at stupid o'clock, and then it were back on at stupid o'clock.
I was on the England trials, just missed out by 1 frame. Yeah. Gutted.
But
the team event was brilliant. Really enjoyed it.
And what's your background in? Is it in pool?
No, snooker. I've only been playing pool 4 years.
Really?
Never played pool before that. I never even thought about playing pool. I was proper brought up with snooker in the 80s. So
wow. You've come a long way in a short time.
Yeah, well, I started playing snooker at a very young age. From 10, I had a 3/4 size table in the house. So that's probably why I've adapted to pool quite well, really.
Yeah, because 3/4.
Yeah, 8
they're still quite. Oh, 8 before.
Yeah.
Is that 3/4? Right. Yeah. So, do you have a big house? Did you?
Well, we had a conservatory on the back.
That's
since my mum and dad have had that into a nice room now. But when I was there, it was a games room.
It was a games room, yeah.
So that's what I was brought up on. 4 years ago I dislocated my shoulder. So I sort of come into the end of my snooker career in a way. I was getting a bit bogged down with it. It was hard work practicing.
Were you professional?
No. Played at a reasonable standard locally, but never any more than that. I've had 133.
Ooh.
Yeah, 1 or 2 hundreds.
Not bad.
Played in the West Midland League, which is really high standard. Century breaks, quite a few in there. Single frame snooker, but practicing all week for 1 frame of snooker a week, and that was your week's game. That was it.
Wow.
So I didn't realise there was so much going on with pool. So did my shoulder in. I had 4 months off snooker. Never really fancied going back to it. A mate says, "Come and play for my pool team. You'll do well." And it just snowballed from there. Boom, boom, boom.
And how old are you now?
50.
You're 50, so you were 46 at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been great. I've met loads of nice people. Really, made some great friends out of it. And I'm really enjoying the circuit on the senior tour and loving it. Got to the quarters of this last time, and Andy beat me.
Right. So you want a bit of payback now?
Do battle again.
That's it. Well, you've had a great weekend. Who have you beat up to now?
Played Trevor Clark first round.
Yep.
That was 9-3, I think. Last night, I can't remember the guy's name I played. It was 9-7, bit of a battle. Guy from up north.
Dave Shand?
No.
I
can't
Alan
remember
Aiden?
his name.
No, Alan had already lost.
No.
I'll tell you. Well, I've got it on my phone. But irrespective.
And then, So got through that one. Scraped through that last night. Come down this morning, drew Pat Ward. Got off to an absolute flyer. 6-1 up, 7-2 up. And he pulled it back to a 7-6.
Ooh.
And he missed a crucial yellow, which, if he gets that, I'm sort of really gone by then.
Yeah.
He'd had three dishes on the trot, and he got going. But luckily, I sneaked that frame, and then I won the last. So.
Yeah, you were on the hill, and
yeah. So that was a big one, and then played quite well in the quarters. Won 9-5.
And that was against Steve Singh.
That was against
was it
Graham?
Sorry.
Graham
Right. And Graham's had a good competition as well.
Yeah,
Obviously
met
got
Graham
to
before.
quarters.
He comes from Blackpool, doesn't he?
Nice guy.
Yeah, very nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody, I think once you get on the senior scene, it's kind
Oh,
of
it's brilliant.
it,
I love it.
it's just so
Yeah,
friendly.
yeah.
Everyone's friendly. You don't have to know but I think when the opponent, if you lose or your opponent obviously loses, one of you loses, normally most people wish you luck in the next round,
Oh,
and
every time. Every
you
time.
make a friend.
Yeah, exactly. You do. And then you
So
speak to them next time, and then before you know it, you know
that's
everybody.
the
Yeah,
old miss.
so you can go out the tournament and still have a good weekend, have a
Yeah.
few beers with them, and yeah.
Yeah. So, have you entered any other competitions this year, or is this the besides the last one of
Um,
this? Is there any
not
others that you've
not
entered? No.
nationally, no. Apart from the
Yeah.
tour
Mm.
and the county things,
So you're on this.
mainly local stuff, local singles leagues, and a couple of local leagues teams we played for.
And you're on the senior tour.
Yes. Yeah.
And what's the best you've done?
I've had loads of last 16s, but then I keep failing at the last
It can
16.
happen.
But
And it's
I'm
harsh.
hoping it'll
Yeah.
come because
Yeah.
I've proved myself here against good standards, so I know I can do it. It's just race to 5 on the tour is
Harsh.
yeah.
And it's anybody's
Anything can
really.
happen. Well,
Someone gets 3 up. Yeah.
Yeah, this seems to suit me a bit better. So
I like the longer stretches. Even if you
Yeah.
lose, at least you've no excuses really. Even if someone gets
exactly,
lucky,
exactly.
they might get lucky on one frame. They're
You'll
not gonna
get you'll get your spell in it, and you got to if you make the most of it, then yeah, you
That's
can
it.
do it.
So, your family, are they watching that? Are family or friends
Yeah,
watching?
my wife normally comes with me actually.
Yeah.
But she's busy this weekend.
Is she watching from home?
She's going to put it on, yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hi,
So
Michelle.
you can, yeah. So it's Michelle,
Michelle, yeah.
the lovely
Yeah,
Michelle.
she loves coming to watch.
Yeah.
Which is nice, really. you
Yeah,
know.
of course it is. Of
So,
course. So, okay, Lee.
Yeah.
Best of luck. It's
Thank
been
you very
fantastic
much.
meeting you.
Yeah, and you.
I'm going to wish you both luck because I want you just to enjoy, no matter, to me, when you get to the
Yeah,
semi-final,
semi-finals.
there's
yeah.
got to be a winner, there's got to be a loser, but just to get to a semi-final,
Yeah, I'm
having
chuffed to bits. Chuffed.
being on stream,
Yeah.
being commentated with Keith Brewer, which is a legend. Hopefully, it gives you a really good memento from this weekend, and the best of luck in the final, Lee.
Thank you very much.
All the best.
Cheers. Bye now.
Cheers. There we go. Welcome back. I've got Andy Lucas with me, who is playing like a demon. For the viewers that are going to watch and going to watch on like catch up, later on.
Yep.
So we're just going to go through your pool career and a few other things, whatever you want to chat about for, like say, about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Lee's been telling us about his background, his snooker, and only started 4 years ago playing pool, which I started when I was about 49. So I was late into. I used to have a game of pool in the pub and stuff, but I were a late starter really. So, Andy, you're a well-known pool player. Another legend.
I don't know about that.
Another legend, and been playing like a legend this weekend.
Yeah, I'm hitting the ball well. I mean, obviously these aren't the rules I normally play, so I find it quite difficult sometimes. And I know the rules, but it's a bit like chess. I know the rules of chess, but trying to actually play them is totally different. So I've kind of been trying to pop my way out of trouble, and so far so good. So yeah, I'm potting well. I'm feeling confident. I just got to carry on and just stay focused and. Hopefully have a good break and see how the balls come out.
Well, I think if you come from originally, probably you played the world rules at some stage, and then turned to No,
No,
no.
no. I used to play the old EPA rules.
Yes,
And
yeah.
then from there went straight into black ball rules,
Ah,
which is kind of what I've played since I was around about uh, 23.
ah,
So I've played in a few, not many, probably half a dozen competitions with world rules, and the more I go in, the more when I'm not
learning.
playing, I'm just watching people because I'm thinking to myself. Quite a lot of times I think to myself, I can't lose this frame. They play a shot and I think to myself I can't win it. So I'm taking the opportunity when I'm not playing, which I don't normally do, is watching other people play to
Yeah.
try and work out what they're thinking, what they're doing. And it's not about what they're going to do then, it's about what they're thinking about, what's going to happen in 3 shots time or whatever. You know what
That's
I mean?
it.
Second
Yeah,
guessing.
planning it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not just playing a shot, but play the shot and where I'm going to leave the white to make it more difficult. So I'm no expert, believe me.
No, no,
You'll
no.
probably see that in a minute because I'll play some shots and people will be thinking, what is he doing?
What's
But
he doing? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just try and be attacking and
But you play, to me, like the best players at World Rules and Black Ball Rules are all attacking,
yeah,
but they have a decent safety game. It's not necessarily the game they want to produce. It's kind of when you get that frame that no one wants to lose. It's dogged.
Yeah.
You've got to dig in,
Yeah.
and you've got to think of that shot. Like for me as a World Rules player, I enjoy it because you can always turn a frame round.
Yeah.
Where obviously at black ball, it's more or less guaranteed. It's all out attack.
Yeah.
All out attack. So you'll know Steve Wall.
Yep.
Is he one of your whatever you call him?
I don't really. I've not played him a lot. I mean, obviously, I've come from Black Ball. I mean, if anybody had said to me I was going to win 3 men's world titles and 1 seniors, I'd be like, no chance is that going to happen. But it has, And I think to myself, I'll just take everything as it is. I'm a great believer in fate. So it's, if it's meant to be your weekend, it will be.
Yeah.
If it's not, it's not.
Yeah.
So. And I know, and I can 100% say, at first to 9, I'm probably going to give 3 or 5 frames away, which I probably shouldn't because I'm playing the wrong shot.
Yeah.
But all I can hope is, and hope
You get 3 or 5 frames that you shouldn't win.
Well, that would be nice
as well.
Yeah. But I think a lot of it for me at the moment is on the break. If I can get a decent break and I get a ball, I've got half a chance. But if it all goes pear-shaped and I don't get a ball and it gets a little bit tight, then
Yeah.
I've no idea what I'm doing, to be honest.
Well, you've come through some tough battles,
I have.
really tough battles this weekend.
Yeah,
Your last one was with Chris Hatton.
that's right. Yeah,
And-
I was 7-5 up. I don't know if you've seen what happened.
No, I didn't, no.
7-5 up. I've got an easy clearance.
Yeah.
Half ball rolling with a red, and it's kicked and gone straight. So he's cleared up. 7-6. Next frame, he's snooking himself on the black. Absolutely crashed it as hard as he could, and it's gone off I don't know how many cushions and managed to find its way in the corner. So that was 7 all.
Sickening, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm thinking again. I was thinking to myself, well, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be.
Yeah.
But I'll hang in. I pulled out a really, really good clearance. He had the black over the pocket, and I had 4 balls on cushions, and I pulled out a really good clearance, and then I missed an easy clearance to win it. So it went 8 all, and he's given me half a chance, and thankfully I took it out. So yeah, I'm still here, still going at the moment.
So it's them kind of things sometimes where you sneak through, where maybe your opponent should have sneaked through, but you sneak through.
Yeah.
That it's just meant to be.
Well, you never
You know?
know. I mean, to be honest with you, I lost. I think it was my first round actually. I lost and went into the losers qualification. So I've had to play 3 more rounds through the losers, and actually one of them I won 6-5. And the lad
Who
I
was that
playing,
against?
I can't
Do you remember?
who it was, but
Yeah.
he broke, and he should have cleared. Gon's cut his last ball in the corner and missed it, which I couldn't believe. So I should have gone out straight away, to be fair.
Yeah.
And then I come back today. I played Keith first round, beating 9-1.
Oh,
you
that's
know.
incredible.
And then-
That's incredible because
yeah.
you're beating him at Keith's rules.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
Black ball rules, I'd fancy my chances, but these
Yeah.
rules, I'm thinking to myself, whatever you do, don't get into a
battle with Keith.
Yeah, because
Not
I'm
with
in
Keith.
trouble.
Yeah.
But, the balls were coming out for me nice, and I was taking advantage. But that's all you can do, and there's no pressure. I come to these competitions. I love competing. But I think to myself, what'll be will be, win or lose, as long as I enjoy it. I'll do my best. Of course, I want to win, but it's not the end of the world.
No.
There's a lot of worse things happening in the world. So
Well, Keith's going to commentate on it,
Yep.
which I think he'll add a little bit of flavour.
Yep.
He's a fantastic commentator, and he's good enough. He's hung back and he's going to commentate. I hope he does the final as well, really. So it's going to be a superb semi-final.
Well, yeah,
I know that they're in for a
Lee.
treat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lee's awesome. You know, if I break dry, he's going to clear him up.
Yeah, he's a
And
snooker
gonna-
player.
Yeah, and he's going to break and clear most of the time. So
So he's
I've
going to
got
be
more work
fairly
on that. Yeah.
attacking.
Yeah.
Well, Andy, the very best
Lovely.
of luck. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming on to
Thanks for showing
stream.
me your tricks.
No worries. All
Lots
the
of
best.
magic. Cheers.
So the match is going to start very shortly. Within the next few minutes, Keith's coming over and taking over, and all you've got to do is sit back and enjoy the semi-final. It's going to be, I'm sure it's going to be very attacking. Two great players, and one of the kings of commentary. So thank you, and see you soon. Cheers.
Right. Well, good afternoon, everybody. I've been drafted in to do the commentary for the semi-final. My name's Keith Brewer, and we'll be royally entertained, I'm sure, in this match. Andy Lucas and Lee Walker. This is a race to 9, world rules. And Andy certainly doesn't hang about, and to be fair, Lee's quite an open player, so this should be a fast and furious match. Well, that's a big opportunity missed really at the start of this match, because Andy having a dry break, leaving an open table, and the yellows were actually pretty nice there, but Lee didn't cue the first shot there very well. He's exaggerated the angle a little bit and put a bit into it. He's trying to get the white in the right place and forgetting to pot the ball. Let's face it, we all do that from time to time. Yeah, the best suit there was always going to be the yellows. The only thing that went right for Lee in that shot, of course, was the yellow he missed actually kind of has gone slightly awkward, so Andy's got to find a way of manoeuvring that into some position that will be advantageous to him. So he'll be working that bit out. That's what he's trying to do, and that's not worked at all, and he's ended up just pushing another one save, so it's not quite worked out for him there. having to rethink the whole situation now. 1 minute you've got the finish in front of you, then the next minute you've got a couple of balls safe, and it's all gone a bit wrong. What he'd like to do really is bring these 2 bad yellows into play. But the thing is, what are you leaving your opponent? Let's see this how he decides to play it. That's what he's trying to do. Well, he's brought one of them into play, left the white pretty safe. So I suppose that's about the best he could achieve on that particular visit to the table. Of course, the yellow he's just manoeuvred in out is also a break ball to bring his other yellow out, so he's got to be careful what he does here. This shot is crucial. You have to say it's good. That's a good shot. Not left too much. Developed his 2 bad reds as well. One of them's over the pocket. That's not a bad outcome. He has left-hand here. He's a chance to have a go at something here. He's still got the break ball I mentioned. That's like a wide. That's a wide at cricket. Talking of cricket, England didn't do very well yesterday, did they? It's a bit disappointing when you're ranked number 1 just before a World Cup. Let's hope they sort themselves out ready. Now Lee would probably just be playing to take this pocket, I would have thought here, unless he's going to pot it and then play one of the other. Well, I just didn't understand that shot. Surely you just cover the pocket, you've got the whole bottom table sewn up. The black still pots now, just give the frame up. It's left-handy, perfect on his break ball. So he can afford to take the risk. He didn't play that as well as what he'd liked. So that white was supposed to be in the middle of the table, so he's still at an angle. That's worked out very nicely. Yeah, took a chance there. Played the white round 2 cushions with a bit of side, canned it into the cluster. And this is where you go back now. If he'd have covered the black pocket, and you would have had to be finding a way to get behind it. Of course, now that's not the case. I mean, that's 2 pretty easy chances that kind of Lee hasn't taken there. Right at the start, he should have probably cleared up from the break. Got to take your chances at this level. You're in a major semi-final against one of the top players. So that's 1-0 for Andy. Was let off the hook. Took the frame out. There is still a quarter-final match going on, because I think the tournament did get held up because one of the last 16 games went on a while, and then of course that held up one of the quarter-finals, which is still going on. So whoever wins out of this match will probably have a wait. They'll probably play the second semi-final on this table following this match, and then the final will be on here later on this evening. Anyway, so Lee's breaking off now. What kind of response can we get? It's a dry break, I believe. So Andy comes to the table, having secured the first frame. little bit of work to do on each set there. Decided on the yellows. Hasn't had the greatest outcome there, but it's not the end of the world, I don't suppose. It's just got to be a little bit careful because the reds aren't that badly placed. Yes, he hasn't fell in an ideal position here. This is where it's so important. Your shot choice at this shot now coming up is so important for him. When you look where the reds are. If my memory serves me correctly, I believe these two played in the last Savanna's event. I'm not sure what round that was. It would have been either last 16 or the quarterfinals, I believe. Well, Lee's playing a few strange shots here, actually, because that shot was a bit strange he's played. Unlucky there, Andy just trying to take the pocket there. A little bit unlucky, played it too well. Can probably afford to play the next shot he's looking at, because when Lee played the last shot, left the red safe, so can afford to develop these, I think. It's not too bad. I think Lee can get through to this red into the middle, so you have to say this, apart from the one on the rail, this is a chance. So let's see what he does, because so far he hasn't really played many good shots, and yet again that's way out. Hitting the ball, he's not cueing the ball well, he's hitting the ball too hard and not cueing it very well at the same time, and he's played some poor shots so far. I mean, the opening shot, when Andy had the dry break, the opening shot on yellows there, well, that was poor stuff. He's going to have to buck up his ideas really in this match. Well, he may have fell in this window here to play yellow onto yellow. I don't know if that's exactly how he's played it, but that's worked out well. Hasn't cued that very well, to be fair. He was hampered, and of course they're the most awkward shots when the ball is right deep into the pocket. It's very hard to get position, and he was struggling with his hand on the table, and that's probably why he didn't cue it very well there, but still cuts in. No, it's another miss. Now he's bringing this red out as well. He's brought his bad red into play. So for Lee now, this is an excellent opportunity. He hasn't got one bad red on the table. This is just about cue ball control, keep your head together. It's a vital visit to the table. This is your chance to level up, one all. Could easily have been 2-0 down. So we'll learn a lot from this response, I think, right now. Played them well so far. This is where you have to start making your decisions. Which is your last ball before the black? I think that's probably one of the biggest decisions you make here. The one in the middle, you've got to get behind it really. That's okay. He's on it now. Probably I would play it now, I think. Nothing stupid there. Right, just get good position on your last ball up table. Make sure, don't miss this pot. You want to get close to it, I understand that, but don't miss the pot. Oh dear, oh dear. Has he just stopped in time? Well, that is careless if he's on this. Well, he's down to the shot so he can see it. Bit of adrenaline there though. Look at this shot. Bit of adrenaline. I need to come back a foot. White ball. White ball. Just slowed up in time. Well, that was painful to watch, that finish. But he's got there. And it's 1-1 in our first semi-final here at Savanna's. So world rules, race to 9. It's a double elimination event, but this is now the final day, so this is like the knockout phase. Andy had come through the loser's side and Lee had come through the winner's side in this event. Well, I'm not sure what's happened on the break there. I'm not sure if he's mishit the break or whether they weren't racked tightly. It was hard to tell, but they haven't split very well, because Andy's breaks are usually excellent. They're some of the best I've seen. Some of the players use a break cue. Andy has a break cue. I've tinkered with one myself, never found one I was happy with. I seem to break better with my own cue, so I just stuck with that really. Of course, we're racking our own sets, so really it's down to the player to ensure that the balls are racked tightly and correctly. So I'm assuming there he's nominated yellows, just doubled it up and down the table, so it's an open table. Well, we're not going to have a quick conclusion to this particular frame. It's a little bit messy, to be honest. There's nothing advantageous to do in the frame at the moment. There's no point in really potting any ball, but I'm sure somebody will. And there we go. So red's in play. Red was already down, but that was irrelevant. So it is red's in play. Well, I can't see any point in potting the ball. Surely he's just going to put it into the pocket. Just leave it over the pocket on this shot. Careless. Absolutely careless. For me, the shot there was to cut it extra thin, because that way you're knocking the yellow onto the cushion at the same time. But make sure you're going to miss the pot, because now you've just put yourself in a world of hurt. Yellows are so far superior now in this frame. So Andy's just got to manoeuvre the yellows round really, leave the white ball safe. Looks to me like he is going to play out onto the red. Of course, he could just tap the white here if he wanted to. Doesn't look like he's going to do that. Missed it anyway. Foul 2 visits. Interesting to see what Andy does here. He likes usually to get on with it. He'd be wanting to open these up, I'm sure. It's just not easy to do it. If it was me, I'd be putting the yellow over the bottom right hand pocket and then I'd split them up. Oh yes, good call, Keith. So there we go, put that over the pocket, and then you can afford to play another shot of any description now. So what we're doing, playing this up to the top pocket? No, just into the middle of the table, just going, quite happy to sit there. So you can see how Lee has managed to get himself into so much trouble. Really, because Andy just owns the table at the moment in this particular frame. Yep, correct shot. Every time now Lee comes to the table, he's going to have nothing to go at. So there obviously is a gap down there, so he's played the red down to where the gap is. Forcing Andy's hand a little bit, not leaving him much to play at. Andy will try and leave the cue ball roughly where it is now, like that. So he can't see any of the reds, so he can't gain the pockets on the bottom part of the table. Now what can he see here? Just glanced off the red there. I think Andy will just want to get this white up the table here. He could cover the pocket, but of course then he leaves him the red along the rail to the other pocket. So white up the table. Yep, about there's right. Bringing another yellow into play, so he's got 4 yellows near the pockets now. For red, it's nothing more than a slow death. Now, does Andy want to take any chance here? He could probably cut a yellow in and go into the cluster. But you never know where everything's going, do you? The yellow kicks the black, black goes in the middle. Does he go for it? No, is he just going to cover up? Just sit in there and cover him? With Andy's shots, really, it's about where you're leaving the cue ball each time. Because there's 7 yellows and only 4 reds, you know, you've got a 3 ball advantage. It really is about where you're leaving the cue ball on each shot. Not really sure what he's going to do next. I didn't understand why he potted the red. It's down to 3 reds now. I'm just thinking, well, maybe if that red passes the yellow, bottom right, can he try and get the pocket? Can he try and pot it and develop the other one? We will have to wait and see. He tried to do that, forcing it though. Forcing the shot. This is one of the rare times I've seen Andy just sit there in a frame. But it's the balls that are dictating what's going on. And from Yellow's point of view, of course, the only way to lose the frame is to be impatient. You know, to try and pot a ball, develop something, and it all goes wrong. Why do it? Don't need to do it. Not much he can do here. I would just try and sit the red near the pocket. I don't see how you can do anything else. You're in so much trouble anyway. The only thing is, at least he's pushed the yellow onto the cushion. You know, it always helps when one of the balls is hard. Oh dear me. Well, we'll probably just see a few more tactical shots exchanged, and he's just going to sit there and wait. He's got his opponent exactly where he wants him, so in a matter of time before he wins this frame. Good pot there, round the angles. Exhibition shot for us all. And now for his next trick. Full snookered on the red. Cannot possibly win the frame now, unless his opponent's arms fall off. So yet again, Andy will just play the containing safety, just waiting for him to move the balls around for him, get his two shots. That's all he's got to do. Nothing he can do here except tap up to the yellow. Right, do this shot then. Same thing. The wrong shot for me, but tap up to the yellow was the shot. Gives Andy more options now. That's worked out quite well, because that yellow that's gone up to the pack of the other four will pot in the corner, so that's now his break ball. He isn't ideal on this shot, admittedly, but he'll fancy potting this, getting the white in the middle of the table. A bit more would have been nice. He's left this a bit extreme, but same thing. Just pot it, plain ball. No, he's gone for the other one. Even better. He won't worry about the yellow going on the cushion. He's got his two shots. It's just mind your work time, this. Never was under any pressure in this frame. Second was it. got them, use them. Didn't need to do anything silly. Two one now for Andy. After a strange frame, really. Andy was just signing an autograph for him. We do have a result there from that quarter-final match, which was a win for Ian Davenport by 9 frames to 3. So the other semi-final will be starting shortly. Andy with another very good break, and off he goes. Actually, well, this was a dry break, wasn't it? Well, I just skipped to get that score. This must have been Lee doing a dry break, and Andy's on the yellows. They just weren't quite set, them two yellows there. And even though he was trying to make it, the problem is, like a lot of you will know, if you're trying to make a ball onto a ball and you're cutting it back the other way, you offset it the wrong way. Anyway, we'll come back to that another time. What it does do is bring Lee to the table on reds. No finish on, of course, because he's got this red tied up on the bottom, with the bottom pocket. He's got one on the side cushion. I think he's just potted that, and he's just going to play this down the cushion, try and get the pocket. It's too slow, so that straight away. He's frightened of potting it there. And if this yellow passes the red, he's just gifted him the frame. You've got to make sure you at least get it in the pocket. It was so crucial. If you just read the table, which is always important, think to yourself, right, if I don't get the pocket, I've lost. And that's really what's going to happen here. So just make the effort, and the worst thing that can happen is that your ball drops in. If that's the worst thing that can happen, then you've done right, haven't you? Just a bit of manoeuvring going on at the moment, but yellow's obviously quite superior. He's thrown a spanner in the works, putting the red down there, but I don't think it's going to make a lot of difference. At the moment, anyway. Now, can he get that red near to the pocket? Doesn't really want it over the pocket, just wants it kind of in the way. It's not too bad. Just to make Andy think a little bit. He may just decide to pot this red. Just play the yellow on and pot the red. Yeah, I thought he would do. Because, of course, the red's tied up on the bottom right-hand corner. The only thing with giving 2 shots away, of course, at any time, is it does give your opponent a chance to manoeuvre some of the balls round. You know, rather than have 1 shot, you've got 2 shots. So, can he double this first red over? I think that's what I'd be looking at, trying to double that red over. Again, he's underhit it. Needed to get it over the pocket. If he could have got that over the pocket with his first shot, then you can play the DF down the bottom right with your next shot. And they'd be in perfect position to do that. But because he's left it short, he's got to play it again. Get it over the pocket if he can, or in front. So, and it's going to be the same outcome. So Andy just walks up to the table and will pot his red over the pocket. Just like losing your pawns at chess, this is. So now he's got 2 shots again. That's why it was so important. Certain shots are absolutely crucial. And that first shot on his last visit, Lee had to get that ball right over the pocket. Yeah, what's the worst thing that can happen is you've potted it. Well, if you pot it, then it's still you've got 2 shots at the table. You can try and do something else. But if he'd have got it right over the pocket the first shot, then he's got a way back into the game. So important to play these shots right. Always easy when we're sat here, of course. Didn't play for the double kiss, of course. Andy again, once again, realising the only way he can lose the frame is to attack. So, quite rightly, just sitting there. He's got his opponent in all sorts of trouble. I think all Lee's trying to do is keep his opponent away from the bottom right hand corner, because Andy obviously needs to bring that bad yellow into play. But time's on his side, doesn't need to do it yet. Okay, so Lee's out of options a little bit here, can't see the 2 reds up the table now. So Andy can try to develop this yellow that's tied up on the bottom pocket if he wants to. Doesn't have to, but now looks like a good opportunity to do it. You could possibly go cushion first, or you can play straight at it. It's up to you. There you go, he's just bringing that ball into play. Hard to see any shot really that Reds can play, apart from just trying to get the white back up the table, some kind of containing shot. the red that's next to the black, I'd want to leave there just to make the black a little bit more difficult. You can't see the other two reds. So for me, all you can do is tap this red over the yellow. I don't know if he can get it right on top of it. If he can, that's probably the right shot. Apart from that, he hasn't got many options, I'm afraid. Oh, we're just going to bring it into play, are we? Deciding he's got no other option, just to give it the old heave-ho. So, because he's moved some of the balls around the table, let's change the complexion of the game a little bit. So sometimes when you're in a lot of trouble like that, you've got no options. Just moving the balls round. You know, hope one goes safe on a cushion or safe next to one of your opponent's balls. Something goes awkward here, awkward there. All these different things can go on in a frame. And to a degree, that's what's happened, you know. And he's having to give it a bit more thought now. Because that's the one. He needs to get the white there, really. Yep, to get at that. He still owns the bottom part of the table, so to speak. I don't know if he can play the combination shot here to get that white where he wants it. So that's what he's going to try and do on short. No, wasn't able to play it slow enough. Got to find a way of getting on that ball. Been forced into this a little bit. I said before, one of the only way he can lose the frame is to attack. He's not so specifically doing that. He's been forced because he's brought the red out and knocked his two yellows around the table, and he's been forced into going for it now. And of course, the yellow that's come up the table has gone a bit awkward. It's possible. It's getting the cue ball in the right place. I think Andy might be off looking for a rest at the moment. Been a long day. Been a long weekend. Started yesterday, 10 o'clock in the morning. Races to 9, so the long races. World rules, and the senior guys all like to fudge about a little bit. So yes, the long weekends. Yep, so Andy's found the rest now. Can he get the white in the right place? Well, that looks pretty good. Managed to get on to it in the corner. He's got the other two yellows sitting over the pocket. So really it will all be about just getting on the black. Because the white's finished right next to the cushion, it kind of limits what you can do a little bit. So you can only obviously play with top now. Has he got an angle? Not much of one, so he's just elected to roll that in. Okay, so he's on his final yellow. Just deciding which way he's going to attack the black into one of the two top pockets. So which way is he going to go? He's decided to go this way. And he's played that pretty well, I have to say. Yeah, that's a pretty good finish. That's 3-1. Let's see if Andy can get a better break this time. Yeah, that's a lot better. Ball spotted. Yellows look quite nice here. Sure, that's what he'll go for. He did need to develop the two yellows that were together. He's managed to do that. I wouldn't say he's fallen ideal into position, but he needs to hit a cushion here. Nothing's hitting the cushion, so that is a foul. 2 visits. It's a little bit careless, plus he's left him right next to his bad red, so he can afford to play that first shot if he wishes. So he's got 2 visits on reds. Playing this to the top pocket. That looks pretty good, and now that's because he's pulled off that shot and he had left him just about perfect on that shot. He should really clear up here with the 2 visits. To be fair, you'd fancy clearing up on 1 visit, but you certainly do with 2. Choice of both of these reds now. And that'll be the frame. 3-2. I think this is a big visit to the table for this man. He's been let off the hook in the last frame with not hitting the cushion. Gifted the 2 visits. And now is an excellent chance here. Yellows look very nice. It's just a little bit tight into the middle, possibly. As I've said before, cue ball control. This is exactly what it is, cue ball control here. The ball's all pot if you put the white in the right place. Decided not to take the thin one into the middle here. And he's overhit that by a mile. It just needs to be a little stun shot. It's hard to retain position. If this pot's long into the top pocket, that's probably the best shot. If it doesn't, he's in trouble because it's hard to hold anything from the middle. I don't see what you're going to do there. The shot is not on. So that's very careless what he's just done. For me, you've got to play this long. No good. And you've put the ball safe and left all the reds available. A little bit hard. Got to push the red safe by the yellow. Just a little bit hard there. Done that quite a bit in this match, Andy has. Resisted attacking and just been happy to play containing shots. I think it's probably the best way to put it. Not a lot on here. Probably play this long, cover the top pocket. Might be the best shot. Nope, don't get that one. Can only presume he's trying to full length double it back down to the bottom left hand pocket. Don't know why, because it wasn't really the pocket that he needed. Got a double kiss there, Andy. Could have gone in off. Got away with that one. Didn't want it in, to be fair. Got to play it with pace, because you've got to rip the cushion after contact. These shots won't bother Andy too much because the yellow that's tied up at the top end of the table, it doesn't really matter too much. He could even afford to pot this first red. He'll probably just lay it over the pocket, but you could pot it and then lay the second one over the pocket. He's got so many options. He's not being put under any pressure. Just got to be a little bit careful. I suppose you could leave a cut in the middle on the yellow to try and develop the other yellow up here, but let's have a look what he does. So that's why he's left the white right in there. Let's play it the opposite way. Obviously seen that. He's still trying it. He's going to try and pot this. I don't think the angle's quite there. Now there's a little bonus for you. Don't know really what shot he was trying to do. Maybe he's just decided, oh, I'll bring this yellow into play, give myself a chance. Flukes it into the middle pocket. And now, if he can pull off one good long pot, you can even play the one. When I say the long pot, I'm on about the one in the centre of the table. If you play that long into the bottom, you're on the one in the middle, one in the corner, you've won the frame. The other problem is if you miss it, you're giving the frame back. What you could do is, of course, play the one near the right hand middle pocket to that corner, and if he sticks in the pocket, you're still in a good position, and if it goes in, you should still be on the finish. So I suppose that would make a little bit more sense, but let's see what way he plays it. So I would probably go for the one on the right hand of the screen, that yellow down to the corner, try and play it the nice dead weight. If it sits in the pocket, it's not too bad. If you pot it, you're okay. That's what he's doing. Okay, that sits in the pocket. See, if that had dropped, he'd have been on the one by the black or the one in the middle. So, you getting his bad ball out and fluking it in the middle has made a big difference here. Snooker doesn't do a lot, to be honest. It's just going to play out and hit the yellow by the black, I would have thought. Not too hard. You don't want to be pushing the black to the cushion. Didn't mean to knock the ball in, obviously. Just trying to cover it all up, because he could get through to that yellow that was over the pocket. So he just meant to cover that up. Two visits. That is a very strange way of playing it, with two visits. If that had gone in, he'd have been fully snookered on the next yellow. I can't quite understand that one. I don't think he's thought about that very well. He may have been better off using his two visits and moving the one by the black first, because that's actually quite awkward to get on. He could have just moved it, developed it. He'd have had the other yellow long into the top pocket where the two reds are, because it's a big pocket. And then I think he'd have found the finish was a lot easier that way. Now he's in trouble. I just didn't get the shot he was playing. I just really didn't understand what he was trying to do. It'd have actually been better if it fell in, because then it'd have been full ball snookered with two visits left, so you could just come off the bottom rail, tap it, and you'd still been at the table playing. Well, there's just no point in potting the one over the pocket, because the other yellow's dead. It doesn't pot in the middle. Well, from getting the 2 visits, he's played them shots. I don't think poorly is the right word. He just hasn't given it enough thought. Sometimes you just have to look at the table and think about it. Just stand back and have a look. You just haven't thought about that right. If it had played my way, if it had just developed the one next to the black, pushed it off the bottom rail, he'd have had a long straight shot into the top corner and the other one sitting near the pocket, then they just roll-ins. The way he played that, I just didn't really understand where he was going with it. 2 in 1 there for you, little trick shot for you. So just a couple of simple pots required. So that makes it 4-2. I think we're having a short break here. Is it? This one somebody popped off for a comfort break. No, Andy's back. Well, the first object is always to try and get the ball down. Keeps you at the table, so important these days. A little bit of work to do on each set. It seems to be favouring the yellows by the looks of it. Well, that's worked out rather well. Finished on the yellow to the middle pocket. The problem will always be he's got the yellow right up top table, so he's got to get up to that at some point. Now what's he left? He's left a nice angle on this. Does it cut back in? Has he gone too far? It's hard to tell whether this cuts in. How well has he played this? It's just a little bit straight. Needed an angle. I mean, the angle he's found to get up table though was fantastic. He just looks a little bit straight. don't know if he can run this through 2 cushions. He can. Very good finish there. 5-2. Cardinal sin, that is. Going off the break is bad enough, but when you screw directly into the middle, I mean, I do it myself, and there's nothing more annoying than doing that. If you get kicked in, what can you do? It's one of them things, it happens. But when you screw directly into the middle pocket, this is very annoying. Bit of an audacious attempt there from Andy. I suppose you can do when you're 5-2 up and you feel your opponent's maybe on their game properly. We'll probably just bring this yellow into play. See, now he's played that shot, he's brought the yellow into play, but he's left a reasonable shout on reds, but he just don't think his opponent's going to get him. No, didn't need really to play it that hard. I can understand he wanted to cannon the yellow, so he was on the 2 reds, but he didn't need to play it that hard. You just got to gently bump it. And of course, when you play the shots a bit harder than you need to, you do lose that little bit of accuracy. Just that little bit. And that's what's happened there. And he's just caught the side of the middle pocket. Well, Andy's played that with a lot of right hand side there, and that's why he's took the accuracy from the shot. So a miss each there from both players. This is one of them situations where there is a finish there, but it's just not an easy finish. See, there's trying to develop his one bad red. I thought he could have maybe just stunned over and took that long into the top pocket. Could have afforded to do it, and he's got a couple of safe yellows at the moment. Well, he was trying to play the red off the yellow into the middle to cannon his bad red out. Once again, obsessed with cannoning that red he was. Gives Andy the opportunity now to put a spanner in the works. Puts his yellow in there. That will stop him clearing up. Puts you a foothold in the game. Stops your opponent winning. Then you can set about defending the table yourself. Very important, I think, to play shots like that. I think what he wants to do, looking at it, he wants to bring this yellow back out. He wants these two reds open. But what you have to be careful of here is where you leave the cue ball. That's not too bad at all. That's worked out quite well. If he'd have played it full ball and left the cue ball there, then he left him on his bad yellow, he could have actually gifted the frame back. So you've got to be a little bit careful. And he will just try and get this yellow back in front. No, he won't. He'll play the double. Very strange shot there, because he's opened all the reds up. I can't tell down table whether one of the reds will pass between them two yellows into the bottom left hand corner. I've got a feeling it's going to be very close. Now, if that pots into there, he's got a chance to finish the game. Hasn't left him an easy opening shot really. What he should be looking at here is putting the red over this top corner where the yellow is. If he hasn't got an opening pot, that's the shot every day. Stops your opponent winning, secures the pocket. Got to get the weight right on this shot. Nope, not the shot for me. You've left your opponent, especially someone of Andy's calibre as well, to leave him a table like this. You're just asking for trouble. Obviously he's got one difficult yellow on the side rail. It's just a matter of how he's going to get on that. He's just working that part out. Well, that's that part of the equation solved. If anything, he's just possibly a little bit too straight on this. Very nice. That's why he screwed it back, so he's got a bit more angle. Yes, it is working out. If I just cannon it, if he plays it plain ball, he should cannon the outside of the other yellow. But he's missed the pot. Playing for the cannon more than the pot. God, I've seen that so many times. Done it myself, we all have. And he was thinking about the cannon more than the pot. There seems to be a gap bottom left where the yellow is. Not sure if there is, but he could play the black safe here. He's not doing it, but it was an option. So he's just gone all out for that shot. What he could have done was played the red onto the black and pushed the black up here on the side, right hand side rail. It would have been protected by three reds. Didn't even look at it. He's played a very, very difficult shot indeed. And just basically gifted the frame back to Andy. Cannot do it at this level. Actually hit this too well. Still cuts in, hit it too well. 6-2. Leah's certainly had a few chances in this whole match, particularly the early frames. If they'd made a bit more of his chances that he'd been given, who knows? You know, the 6-2, it's a big score line now to come back from. If it had been 5-3, say, there's a bit more in it. Well, there's a rare one from Andy. Obviously trying to do a bit more with the cue ball itself. Hasn't been missing many pots, to be fair. Not left his opponent a great deal here. Yes, I think we're just going to see him play across the table, make contact with this yellow. Well, so he didn't really want it in, so that's okay. Clever little shot there. Yellow, red off the red to bring his bad red into play. No, no. He's played a couple of poor shots in this frame, Andy has. Quite a way out with that one. Really, yellow should be taking this frame. Yes, nothing much to do here. It's quite a straightforward run out to win this frame. Well, I would probably say if I was having a worse shot of the tournament, that was probably it. Only had to stun it back an inch. Good recovery shot off rail first. Not got ideal position, but he's got a shot. Just cue it. Just cue the shot. No, It's just not happening. No position. They've been snookered. If he'd have got it, he's left the yellow safe. So once again, a gifted frame for Andy, because that's literally what it was. Andy was trying to develop the yellow on the cushion. Now he'll probably just take it full length down the table, which he has attempted. It's not too bad. He's pushed the red safe. He'll be happy with that. Incredibly, he's overcut that shot. You wouldn't think it's possible, but that's what he did. No harm done. He's not really left his opponent on anything. He can bring his safe ball out here, I'm sure. So Andy gets another chance in this frame. Andy will be feeling quite comfortable, I think's the word. He's playing well enough. His opponent isn't playing well enough, and that combination puts you in your comfort zone, really. You're not being pressured too much. I'm assuming that the yellow next to the black does pop bottom right as we look. So that's why Andy can afford to go around the finish the way he is. Well, there's a little bit of a cut on this. We're just going to cannon the black, I'm not sure. Yeah, he has cannoned the black. Now, does it cut in? It isn't tight on the cushion, so I assume this will cut in. And there you go. So that's 8-2. Well, that's another one of them breaks where he's either mishit the break or the balls weren't rack tight enough. Well, no easy ball to pot, no value in potting a ball. Well, at least he's moved a few round. So straightforward black for the match. So Andy wins by 9 frames to 2 and progresses to the final. We'll be back for the final later.